Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So in this third and final video for Eyecatchers, I've grouped a few different groups together. There are some horses that I thought should have won with better rides. There's a couple that were unlucky, and there's 4 maidens that I want to talk about the horses going forward. So we'll start off with the horses that I didn't think were given the best of rides. The first one is Lady Babs. I thought Fern got this wrong. Should have won this race. Left it far too late, came from too far back, was travelling best of all, and wasn't the strongest in the finish. I think if she rode it again, she would get after Lady Babs a little bit earlier and win going away. Yeah, I'll be interested to see where they go with her next. If they find another race and Fern gets back on board to try and make amends next time, she'd be of interest for sure. Second one, same story, Beryl Burton. This was Fame at Manamam. Fame at Manamam again. Yeah, is travelling all over like the winner. I don't know what she's doing down the inside. Didn't get after Beryl Burton until it was far too late, and to try and then outride Holly Doyle in a finish is always going to be tough. I think if you switch the jockeys, Beryl Burton wins that by 2 or 3 lengths. So she was frustrating, but she's one that, if the handicapper leaves her alone, it's a rubbish race that she was in. Leave her in that type of race, leave her on that grey in that handicap mark, and she can definitely pick up another race very soon. The next horse is a horse that I think has just bumped into one, and that was Out From Under. Take out the winner. Out From Under's won it comfortably. He's still improving himself, Out From Under, but Tarab has demonstrated that she was very nicely handicapped when winning this at Ascot. She's quick and clear. She's going to go up quite a lot in the handicap, I think, whereas Out From Under might be left alone because he's finished a clear second. Again, it's the type of race that you've bumped into one here. Are you going to bump into one that far clear next time? Probably not. So Out From Under is definitely one to keep an eye on going forward. And the final horse I think bumped into one was Bebop Allure. Travelled well for Oliver Stammers. Just bumped into Habanero Star, who's in a rich vein of form. Was given a great ride by Holly Doyle. Holly's now 2 from 2 on Habanero Star. Yeah, everything was right for Habanero Star, and Habanero Star won. So you always have to look in behind who's just simply bumped into one. I know, again, it's a terrible grade. It's a Class 6 race, 0 to 55. Bebop Allure is not going to be winning, good races on Saturday. But Bebop Allure can certainly win a race on a Wednesday somewhere at Bath or Brighton or Yarmouth. As long as she doesn't bump into a horse in the grade that's really in form. And we get some races, if you took out Habanero Star here, look at the form of the other horses, it's atrocious. There's some really moderate horses in that race, and Bebop Allure, if you took out Habanero Star and Bebop Allure ran in that again next time, I'd be very keen on Bebop Allure to win that quite comfortably. Final horse, this one was final one from the unluckies, I think. Far Shot was so unlucky. Well, he was blatantly unlucky. See what I did there? Yeah, just didn't get a run. Eventually did. Haviland got after him, closed on Blatant all the way to the line, didn't quite get there in time. Interesting to see what the handicapper does with him. If he leaves him on the same mark and he gets into another 0 to 90, Class 3, there's plenty of races that he can win for Far Shot. Now we move on to... Oh no, we don't. We've got one more, sorry. Similar story for Fast Steps. I thought Patrick did pretty much everything right. Maybe wasn't quite going for it right at the finish when he hit the front. I just wanted a little bit more of an effort from him, but he didn't quite give it all, I don't think. And Sofosk has come from miles back to win for Ian Williams and Josh Agar. Hopefully the Millmans can find another race for Fast Steps. Similar race. Patrick on board again. Just needs to... I just wish the jockeys in these amateur races would continue to ride out all the way to the finish. We hear of them having... I know they're amateurs, but surely they have practice and they get coaches and just the action. Some of the actions are terrible in these races, and they don't look like they're trying. It's a race. You should still be trying. Just do your arms. You don't even have to be using the whip sometimes. Some of the jockeys are just sitting there, and you're like, how are you? You're not riding. You're a passenger. Patrick isn't quite that bad, but I just want to see a little bit more arm movement, shaking the horse, asking the horse to go a bit quicker. And I think Fast Steps can certainly win a similar race. Now moving on to horses that I think will be interesting going forward. The first one is Allemande, who was green as grass at Kempton. She didn't know what to do. She was slowly away. When she did start to make an effort down the outside, she started hanging badly. The winner is good, Golden Lyra, and the runner-up at least had a run and had been gelded, so you could understand why there could have been some improvement from Treble Joy. I think the race won't work out that well in terms of further back, but I think the front three can all... I expect Golden Lyra to be running enlisted and group races soon. Treble Joy can certainly pick up one of these, and Allemande will improve for that run massively, I think. So she's quite interesting going forward. The next horse I want to talk about is Russet Gold, who finished 5th at Doncaster. I did actually leave a comment as to why, which I do need. Just going to pause the video a second. Okay, so I put, if you stop the race after 2 furlongs, the front 4 are 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th, and all down the near side. Over the far side and back in 8th or 9th is the newcomer Russet Gold, but he quickened really nicely over the far side to initially look like he was going to really get involved. I thought he finished his race off fine as a newcomer as well. I was very impressed with the way he quickened when he was asked initially over the far side. I just think he's in the wrong place, and he'll improve for that run. I was very, very interested, very taken by the performance of Russet Gold on debut in this race. It's a race that I think will work out quite well, and Russet Gold next time, if he gets into the middle of the group in a maiden like this, I think he will go very, very close next time. Moving on to the 115 at Newmarket, this was just a race that I thought there was a few here that will certainly improve. I suggested that the winner would be a newcomer. I know that didn't take a lot of finding because, as you can see, there was only 3 that actually had runs. But the performance by Hope You Can Run was actually quite decent anyway on debut. And yet the 5 that finished in front of him were all newcomers. And I think this race is going to work out well. I thought Epictetus, is that how you say it? Epictetus was very professional. Won quite nicely. Leadman, we're going to go for Leadman. Travelled really well on debut. Desert Order looked a little bit lost when asked for an effort, and Flying Honours was down the near side, which wasn't the place to be. I think this is a race that's going to throw out quite a few winners going forward, and it's worth looking at and keeping your eye on all of the front. I'd probably say the front 4 are all going to be well above average. I think maybe Leadman, the way he travelled, was very, very good. And maybe Flying Honours is going to be better for the run and better for being in the right place rather than down the near side group. And the final race, I think this one is above average, is Defensive Fort. I thought the way he quickened down the near side, I know he had the rail, but he beat a horse with experience in Berkshire Phantom. Kayima had set a decent figure on debut. I just think there was lots to like about Defensive Fort for Peter Chapel-Hyam and Jason Watson. He looks a big horse, and I think he might be even better next year as a 3-year-old. But yeah, just keep an eye on Defensive Fort, see where he goes. I imagine he'll end up in group races. I do think he's that good based on that performance at Ascot.